Hey, how's it going, guys? This is your boy Hazzed, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a breath tutorial on how to use Breath of Sindragosa correctly. Now, I'd say there's about 3 different ways you can use it. There's like the PvP hard burst style that I use quite a lot. There's the elongated PvE rotation, and then there's kind of a medium that people like to use here and there. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go over just the different styles, what you want to use in different situations, because obviously I don't use it the same. There's different ways to use breath than just throwing out the damage and calling it good, because that's not the way it works. It's really not. Like, if you're using it just to expect it to deal damage and put out some pressure, and it only lasts like 5 to 6 seconds, you're not going to do crap with breath. So we're going to jump into this and talk about it, guys. Before there's any confusion, the breath macro is right there on my screen. I'll put it in the comments right below the video, of course. So what we got to do here, guys, alright, so we're starting off with breath. Now I'm going to start off with a PvP breath. Now PvP breaths can either be short or elongated. Now, talents I'm going to be using is Murderous Efficiency, of course, because Shattering Strikes no longer applies in PvP since Frost DK buffs no longer go on the target. I have no idea why they did that. I still don't know if we're gimped because of that reason, because I know Frost DKs were balanced around the enchants. They haven't said anything about that, so we might be running around with a peg leg for a little bit, and I don't know why that hit live if that's the case. It's a little bit ridiculous. But basically, this is the spec we're running for this one. Basically, it's going to be a shorter breath. I could say you could keep up breath around 16 seconds. Now, what do I mean about changing up my breath? Now, you do have to keep up consistent damage while also, deciding when to deal max pressure. Because anywhere during my actual damage, anywhere during my actual breath, I could deal a large amount of burst damage by unloading more Obliterates. Or you could use Obliterates by spacing them out. So first off, I'm going to show you what it looks like by spacing out your breath. So we're going to go ahead and get on this target. I'm going to pop, actually I'm not going to pop anything. First, we're going to get up our runic power. Most important thing about Breath of Sindragosa is maxing out your runic power or getting it really close to max before you use it, because if you're using the macro, it's going to instant obliterate right away. So you probably wait till you're about right here with your runic power, and then you're going to go ahead and use your breath. Now, what we're going to do here is space it out. Alright, we're going to use our Howling Blast procs. We're losing runic power there. We're going to use Obliterates. We're going to use more Obliterates. We're going to use that Howling Blast proc. Now we're going to use Empowered Rune Weapon and then more Obliterates. Now that's actually going to kick up our breath and of our runic power, of course, quite a bit, and using any procs we get and keeping up the Obliterates. You got to keep up the Obliterates to keep up your breath. If you're not keeping up your breath's not going to last that long. And then, of course, you hit them with Big Dragon whenever you need, if you're on Legion Beta, and that's going to be like your maximum spaced out breath. Now, that breath, what that breath is good for is for killing healers and things like that, because as soon as a healer sees your breath on a Frost DK, chances are you're going to get his cooldowns absolutely instantly. Just boom, right then. So that's why I kind of go for that elongated breath right there on classes like that, that I know are going to last quite a while through it, instead of dumping my Obliterates as fast as possible and then coming back again, hoping that it just kills him. Against double DPS and other classes like that, we can go ahead and dump our breath faster. Now what we're going to have to do, we're actually going to have to sit here for a little bit and wait for this to come off cooldown. It's good that it's a 2-minute cooldown, down from a 3-minute cooldown, because if it was a 3-minute cooldown, that would be just like a complete... It was kind of bad that it was 3 minutes, because it offset with so many different abilities, and of course kind of offset your trinket and stuff. So it was a real pain to kind of use. I mean, it was good, but it was a real pain to use. But now it's down again to 2 minutes. I can't complain. It's absolutely amazing that it's down to 2 minutes. I mean, I can burst. I mean, in most main fights now, I have my breath up to burst. I'd say before I definitely didn't have my breath up enough when I came to team fights, when I was using like a 2-hander. But of course, after that, it became a lot better. All right, so we got breath up here in just a moment again, and we got full runic power. The other thing is we got full runes, so we can lay out a lot of Obliterates. Now, I'm basically right here. I don't got empowered rune weapon, so I'm not going to throw that up twice, of course. But basically right here, guys, I'm going to show you exactly... like burst, this is the burst, just like as much burst as possible. You basically throw out the breath, you throw out your major cooldowns. I mean, you're basically throwing, the button, pop the macro. Alright, so also you want to pop Remorseless Winter, pop the button macro, and then just dump as fast as Obliterates, using procs of course, and dump as fast as Obliterates as possible into the target. This is maximizing burst, guys. This is trying to deal max pressure. You're not trying to elongate your runic power, you're just trying to deal maximum pressure. Now, it'll make your breath slightly shorter than it was before, but you're totally going to deal more burst pressure and have more consecutive damage over time, because they're still trying to make it back from the initial damage, and it can still last quite a while, especially even with Empowered Rune Weapon. You do the same thing. As soon as you throw up Empowered Rune Weapon, instead of spacing it out, you'd slam your face on Obliterate to deal maximized pressure within that small amount of period, and that's how you see me get those globals on people that they die in, you know, 2, 3, 4 seconds, things like that, within my breath burst, and that's how you're going to see them die. And of course, since we're level 110, we have the Honored Talent Chillstreak in PvP, which causes 13% damage on somebody, which is a lot of health. Now you get, you know, of course, another target next to him. It bounces back and forth, and then it's going to deal 39% damage, plus the breath, plus the Obliterates, plus the Remorseless Winter, plus the icicles falling on somebody's head, and it can create a really, really nasty burst for anybody that gets caught in it. Now let's go ahead and change up our talents here. I gotta wait for a slight cooldown, so I'll go ahead and turn off the video just for that time and wait for breath to come up and switch around talents. Alright guys, so we switched up our talents here. We got our cooldowns back. Basically what we're rocking now is Hungry Rune Weapon and a Horn of Winter. Now somebody in the comments suggested we try this out and try to keep up breath for as long as possible, because there are some reports of some raiders getting it up, you know, lasting more than a minute. And I'm thinking it lasts a minute, it's on 2-minute cooldown, you basically have that up, you know, 50% of the time, which is absolutely insane, which I believe I've held it around 40 to 50 seconds, which is pretty beast if you ask me. That's insane. Like, not tooting my own horn, but holding it for 50 seconds in general is just beast. Like, if anybody does that, it's beast mode. Alright, so guys, this also gave me a second thought while I was, you know, contemplating this idea. One of our problems in dueling most of the time, guys, is we have a hard time dealing with any class on the Legion Beta and or PTR that has a bubble, a save me, anything like that, because we have a ton of burst and then no self-healing. So this spec actually offers us kind of a solution to that, if you will. Now pay close attention, guys. Now a bubble comes up, it lasts, you know, 8, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, who knows, just it lasts a while. Anyways, so after the bubble's off, we don't have our breath up, we don't have major cooldowns, we force the bubble, you know, our duel's basically over, unless, you know, we have IBF and healing, but even then they'll probably pop cooldowns after the reset and kill us anyways. That's generally how it plays out with better people currently on live beta. But what this is going to offer us is like a 50-second breath that lasts all the way through that bubble, all the way through that ice block. As long as you can keep up that runic power within that ice block or bubble and keep the breath all the way through, you're going to be golden. Like, you're not even going to have to worry about that bubble. You're not going to have to worry about that ice block as long as you can do this. Now, I'm not going to say this is not an easy thing to do. This takes quite a bit of experience. I'll have to test it out quite a bit to figure it out. But, okay, so what we got to do here, guys, of course, we got to build up our runic power, kind of like we did on the other thing here. And, you know, about maximize it out, I'm going to go ahead and pop that macro soon. I'm actually going to throw up my Remorseless Winter like I'm supposed to. And then I'm going to throw up that breath macro, dealing a ton of pressure. Now, I'm going to space it out here. We're going to see how long we can make this last for. Let's see what we can do. I'm actually going to start using more Obliterates. Now, you notice I have Horn of Winter, so I can use Horn of Winter, gather up some extra runes and runic power by using it, and it'll help us keep up our breath for quite a bit longer. And now you see it's just lasting forever. I'm also going to pop Hungering Rune Weapon, which is going to help keep our runes up again, and just extend it even longer. Now, if they bubbled at any point, you can see right now that, you know, I would have just kept right through it. I would have used Hungry Rune Weapon right there, let it dip really low, and I would have just came out swinging like crazy on that guy. He would have been like, what? Alright, using our procs. Now we're actually going to dip right here. We had kind of a dead spurt right there, but we'll keep it up a little bit longer here using our procs. And that is the elongated breath right there. I'm not sure how long we kept that up for, to tell you the truth, but it felt around 30 to 40 seconds. It was pretty powerful, and that should be enough burst to actually put you through to the bubble. Yeah, it was definitely around a minute because our Pillar of Frost just came back up, which is a minute cooldown, which means I probably actually held that for more like 45 to 50 seconds if there was only about 10 seconds downtime. But definitely, guys, that's going to be how you use your breath. Now, with this spec, you definitely want to go for the elongated breath. You don't want to go for the burst spec. With the other spec that I play, of course, is more bursty. You're going to do more damage up front. You're going to hit them really hard, and you're going to burst right through them. Now, this spec, I'd have to say, would probably be better off for raiding DPS, definitely. Keeping up that breath the whole time and elongating that rotation is probably going to help you deal better pressure inside like a raid boss fight than the other spec because it's really bursty. Even though the really bursty spec for heroics is really fun because you can top out like, 120k, 160k plus DPS in full PvP gear, which is just absolutely nuts. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this breath video. Again, the breath macro is going to be under the comments down below. I hope this gave you guys some insight. I mean, I basically just had this realization of this long breath this morning and how to deal with people with bubbles and stuff. I don't know if anyone's talked about that or came up with that. I don't know if I'm the first, but who knows. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you learned something. Until next time, this was your boy Hazzed.